The world number one is revealing his team on this channel. Do not go anywhere. He might even be about to take a 4-point hit. Welcome to the channel, Max Littleproud from Manchester. How's it going, mate? Every time we chat, you're still world number one.
I'm still somehow clinging on, still in there. I think everyone else seems to be quite annoyed that it's quite a long game week, this one, but I'm more than happy for it to continue as long as it means that I stay where I am for now. Getting closer to that Everton-Liverpool game, which is getting nervy. I'm trying to think now of things that I can go and do instead of watching that game, and then just check my phone at 10 p.m. and see what happens. But still
You'll
enjoying
watch.
it.
You know you'll watch. You're a
probably watch it.
So you've got Slot as your assistant manager.
Yep.
I mean, loads will watch this after the game, so we won't talk about the Merseyside derby for too long. But you've got Slot as your assistant manager. I mean, obviously you're happy with that, and you'll be holding it. What did you make of that Plymouth game? I mean, it was a complete B team, but
I mean, it still doesn't bode well, though, doesn't it? I mean, I think it's more. Well, exactly. Well, I think it's more sort of just more speaks about Slot maybe underestimating the cup, which is disappointing because I know. I mean, the FA Cup is fantastic. I love it. But I mean, I'm always great to see a smaller team knock out one of the big boys, and it's go on Plymouth.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I don't follow the Championship well, but I knew they were struggling. They'd sacked Rooney.
Yeah.
They're bottom of the Championship and it's top of the Premier League. I was like, fair play. That is always fun. But Liverpool can now focus on the other competitions, which I guess matter.
Exactly.
And we can focus on your team. I've got your ranks down the very far side of the screen.
Yeah.
You can see I came into the top 10 game week 17. You've not left it since. But you're shaping up, as always, well for game week 25, which we now know is a double. Were you happy with the... We've not spoken since the announcement, right? So we saw Spurs lose to Liverpool in the FL Cup, which meant the doubling teams were confirmed. Yeah. Liverpool double is brilliant for you because you got Slot in place. And the Villa double is good for you because you got Rodgers in place already. Exactly. So you're one up on a lot of managers in terms of coverage there.
Exactly, yeah. From when we spoke last, I mean, I was absolutely desperate for Liverpool to get a double because all my sort of plans hinged on keeping Slot and then, moving Ismail Sarr to someone else. So I'm really happy that Slot's got the double again. I still think Liverpool are gonna. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win the next 3 games they have. I think they're gonna beat Everton. I think they're gonna beat Wolves, and they should beat Villa because Villa still don't look fantastic. But yeah, I was really, really happy to see that, just so it sort of played into my plans. I can stick to what I wanted to do, and basically get rid of Sarr and not burn any more transfers.
Yeah, and as we look at your team, I mean, I'll read it out for podcast listeners, but Pickford and Matthews in goal, the back five of Aina, Gabriel, Trent, Hall, Robinson. You would have had a Robinson double, I guess, which could have been all right. Yeah. In midfield, this is the kind of the three of Salah and Burmo Palmer just picks itself. A lot would love that trio if they don't have it. Rodgers, arguably the best budget mid to buy this week if you don't have him because of the double. Although saying that, those Bournemouth mids we're going to discuss further because you've currently got your one transfer. And of course, we're going to caveat this with it's early in the week. Of course, plans can change. But you've got a couple of versions of your team to show today. This is the first version. It's Ismail Sarr out and Semenyo in. You got loads of money. You got 1.5 million in the bank if you make that move. And then your trio of Isak, Wood and Visser up front. We should probably chat Semenyo. And when we chat Semenyo, we have to chat Dango and we have to chat Kluivert. I mean, how do you feel? And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the show, please do like and do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And also comment. I get back to all your comments and Max loves reading them as well. All the good ones, I'm sure. And it's mainly good, mate. You've been such a popular addition. Everyone's like, get him back on, get him back on.
I've really, really enjoyed the love. It's been very good. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I loved having you on. And look, when you're having a terrible season like me, mate, who wants to listen to my team at 1.3 million in the world? I'd much rather listen to yours. So
everyone can live vicariously through me. I'm more than happy to share my success.
You're carrying the channel, mate. You're carrying the channel. So, all right, Bournemouth fixtures. I mean, it's easy to beeline for the doublers, and we'll talk about Liverpool and Villa. But first, let's talk Bournemouth. Single game week, scoring loads of goals, looking really good. Another win in the FA Cup. They're flying, and the entry point of Southampton away is lovely.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better fixture, could you? Really? They're all so good. I mean, we've discussed it before, but all three of them, I'd love to have all three of them in the team, especially with the run of fixtures. I mean, the fact that they play in Gameweek 29 as well is fantastic. You've got to keep an eye on that. Yes, Semenyo is the player that I've currently got coming into the team. He's so good. I love watching him. He's like we were saying before, the classic winger. He beats people. He takes people on. But then as soon as he takes them on, he takes a shot. He's refreshing. He's not one of these players who, even when they beat the man, still look for a sideways pass. He's always shooting. I think he's had the second most shots in the Premier League this season, just one behind Erling Haaland.
Wow.
He's great. I love him. He's great to watch. So I think bringing him into my team it'll just be fun, because when I watch the Bournemouth game, I can be rooting for him even more, and hopefully he'll bring me some success. But I mean, they're all really, really good. I mean,
he's the eye test guy, though, Semenyo, isn't he?
He is the eye test guy.
He's the one that really. So when we see the green of this metric, this is from since Dango's been in the 11. So I think it's last 5 games. Semenyo is top for big chances created, but also, just as you'd expect, penalty area touches at the bottom there, shots in the box, and goal attempts. He is the shot monster.
Yeah.
In the team, as you say. So, I mean, he even took the penalty. Kluivert wasn't on the pitch at the weekend against Everton, but he even took the penalty. And of course, Semenyo doesn't take. So, see the way he took it? Like, not many players take penalties like that. He only knows how to hit the ball hard.
Yeah,
which
literally.
might work against him in terms of his conversion rate. Sometimes you need to side foot it, Antoine. Yeah. But he is a kind of, I'm going to shoot across the body and I'm going to smash it.
Well, it bodes well in the fact that he took the penalty, because I mean, even if Kluivert comes off early and Bournemouth get a penalty, quite a bit. Exactly, and Semenyo's going to take it, and that run up is if he got a penalty in, let's say, the Southampton game, and Semenyo ends up taking it, I'll be very nervy watching him take it like that. But yeah, he's like I say, he's the ultimate eye test winger. He's so good. I love watching him.
Well, let's talk Kluivert next. We can see picture Kluivert and Semenyo, the two main men many are talking about, and the fixtures are clearly there. If we go off recent form, it's Kluivert who stands out. Start of the season not so great, and not always in the 11 when everyone's fit. There are injury problems. He has played his way into the 11, and his average position map is so high. He's playing like a sort of often the most advanced man on the pitch. Semenyo is wide on the left. Kluivert is often central left, but the highest, most advanced player if you go purely off average position. When we see the blue here, it's Kluivert. This is from the Scout app. Chances created, he's towards the top. Goal involvement's there. Goals, most importantly, on that bottom left-hand side, he wins out. He's very good in front of goal, isn't he? He's sort of ice cool finisher, which is why he's the penalty taker, I guess.
I think so. I mean, he's just one of these players where everything feels like it's going through him. It looks like all the Bournemouth players are trying to get the ball to him and see what happens. And then, they bring it out wide. But like I said before, he's one of these guys that can pick up the ball 25 yards out and he'll smash it in. He is the talisman of the team. He's the main man at the moment. Form is in his favour. I mean, all the Bournemouth are playing so well. I mean, they're all playing so well, and it's a really tricky one to pick. But yes, Semenyo, I think with Kluivert, it's that main man sort of price point you're paying for. I think you're paying for the fact that he is talisman, main guy, takes penalties, and everything's flowing through him, really.
Yeah, it is. He is really impressive. And then Dango, we can see in red. The biggest metric here for Dango straight away on that right-hand side is big chances.
Yeah.
As the number 9 in the team, and that's where he's played the last 5 games, and he was rested in the FA Cup for Jebison, by the way, which is a good thing. Jebison scored, but Dango is absolutely first choice. And he was rested because he's important. Jebison's only been coming on in the Premier League for 5-10 minutes, and often that's not actually for Dango, that's for one of the wide forwards. Dango stays on the pitch. Big chances, they're falling his way. You would expect the number 9 to get the most big chances. And in this team, he might not be the most advanced player because he's often having to drop deep and get on the ball, as you see a lot with number 9s. But he is getting the big chances. And for me, that makes him, if they were all the same price, I don't know if you go Dango because of the underlying numbers. But the fact he is so much cheaper is 20% less than Kluivert. Are his points going to be 20% lower? I'm not sure they are. And Dango, for me, offers perhaps the best value, knowing he's getting the big chances. So in a way, for my team, and we're not going to talk about my team for more than 30 seconds, but for my team, I don't have the money to consider a Semenyo or a Kluivert. I'm 0.1 short of Semenyo, and I'm going to be 0.3 or whatever of Kluivert. I'm quite glad that the decision is made. I'm forced into it. We'll see a version of your team where you're forced into it too on Dango. But option one for you is just that one midfield transfer where you have got loads of money. It's SAR out. You've got money in the bank. If you go Semenyo, you can afford Semenyo or Kluivert. But at the moment, are you thinking Semenyo? If you are ranking them 1, 2, 3 and money's not an issue, are you number one Semenyo?
I think at the moment I am, just because I think it's just because I enjoy watching him so much. And he's one of these guys who he'll make something out of nothing. Where Kluivert, yes, might be able to pick up the ball 25 yards out, scream it top corner. Semenyo's going to get so many chances and he's going to take on so many people. And just watching him past couple of game weeks, even with the best defenders, he seems to still be wrong-footing them and getting it onto his dominant foot and then smashing it. Like I say, he really hits them every single time he takes a shot. He hits them, and I don't know. I feel like he's going to come big this game week, but easily could be a Kluivert though, because I like them both. I mean, in an ideal world, I do see myself in, not this week, possibly the week after, having two of them for Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers, blank.
Well, Rodgers can go, can't he? Because the Villa fixtures aren't great after the double.
Yeah, not great after the double, and the blank in 29, and I think
Bournemouth play Ipswich after that blank in 29, and 29. If you're navigating that without a free hit, even the free hitters will want double Brentford attack. Brentford at home is a really good fixture. So, and it's Spurs before that. It's bright. It's a great run.
Yeah,
so
100%.
You might end up going both. Yeah, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So look, we got to see a different version of your team because that actually involves Dango. So we'll get to that. And again, with this part of the wider conversation with Aston Villa as well. Yeah. Before we do that, guys, if you haven't already got the OneFootball app on your phone, get it on there. It lives on my home screen. The missus is always saying to me, get off your phone when we're in bed at night. Because the last thing I do before I go to bed is I look at football news. First thing I do in the morning is I look at football news. Yeah. And OneFootball for me is the best because you get not only the news, but you get the video clips as well. If I want highlights of a cup game or a league game, they're on there for me. And also, I love the Champions League. I noticed with my shirts and the backdrop, I'm celebrating the Champions League this week. Again, if you want that Champions League news, it's better than a lot of those other football apps. It's free. Download it. Max, you're big on your football news as well, right? You must be on your phone a lot. I mean, it helps for FPL, but also we're football fans first, aren't we?
Exactly. Yeah, football fans first and foremost, aren't you? You always want to be, updated with the best news and the most recent news. But then, especially when it comes to fantasy football, which now is the main thing that I have got going on at the moment. I need to know everything. I need to be over all the news, all the transfers, all the injuries, everything like that. Definitely.
Mate, if you win FPL, you realise that the likes of OneFootball and co are all going to be in touch. There'll be a story on you. There is every year for the winner. I mean, that's some pressure.
Exactly.
And you get tickets to a Premier League game, and you get quite a good goodie bag now. You get because of all the sponsors give a prize, so it's like a watch from the watch partner and stuff like that. So
yeah, definitely.
We'll talk about that more in April, May, mate, as we get a bit closer.
I don't want to tempt fate just yet.
Not too much pressure on you now. Yeah. Although it is a good sign. 2 years ago, the winner was Ali Hangarov, and he made his YouTube debut on this channel about this time. I think it was around January, so around 5-6 months to go, and he maintained top spot. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So guys, just scan the QR code, click the description. You'll love OneFootball if you check it out for free. Your second version of your team. Now, this leaves 0.0 in the bank. Mm-hmm. It's 2 transfers. It requires a 4-point hit.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, my team selection will be out in a couple of days' time. At the moment, I'm pretty locked on my moves, and my moves are 4-point hit, Watkins in, Dango in. I'm also changing my manager. I've got 2 frees, not the one you have. This decision on Watkins means you can only afford Dango. So before we speak about Villa, and we've just given loads of chat on Bournemouth mids, I'm guessing you don't see it's much of a downgrade to go Dango. Like you're very happy going there and being forced to go there.
Like we've said, I mean, they're all fantastic. They're all really good options. Almost like you said before, the fact that if you're forced into a decision, it takes it away from you, and then you have to go for it. And you don't have that in your back of your mind thinking, I should have gone for this player. But it forces my hand to go for Dango, who, again, brilliant option. And then Ollie Watkins is, I feel like this could be the ultimate chasing double game week players. I think I'm gonna have to definitely wait to hear some more news on his fitness. There's no way I'm bringing him in if he's gonna miss the Ipswich game. And it's just
we
a
need
Liverpool
training ground
picture.
pictures, don't we?
We
We
some
need
training
not
ground
only
pictures.
Emery quotes, but we need to see him in full training, which we think we will. Emery said before the weekend, like he'll be available to train next week. We think so. Yeah, should be fine.
Yeah, I think he plays both. I think he's fine. He's had a chance to rest. I think he'll be back for the Ipswich game. But yeah, it's I mean, like I said before, Ollie Watkins has done me good at certain points this year. I mean, I feel like he's the main guy that got me to that first place in in game week 22.
Proper differential then as well. He's gaining momentum.
Yeah.
You owned him when he was proper low owned. I think we're looking at like 17-ish% now, but
yeah, I mean, I think no one else in the top 20 had Ollie Watkins at that point, and he was big player for 2 game weeks. I don't know. It's we've talked about the Bournemouth players. I think Bournemouth's game is better than Villa's both of games put together, and I don't know. It'd mean getting rid of Chris Wood, and that would be a scary prospect if he has a big game again.
Well, we will do a Wood and Watkins comparison in a minute, guys. So stay tuned for that. Because again, he has been amazing, Chris Wood. Like we have to look at those numbers. But Watkins, do you see yourself as, if you did go down this route, great for the double, 2 home fixtures, Ipswich at home, great. We're very happy. The ceiling is there. He's clearly a better pick than a Chris Wood or even an Isak this week. Managers are selling Isak to Wood. I hate it, but for 1 week only, it works. But straight away, I'd want Isak back, which is why I don't like the move. Looking at Watkins, Chelsea aren't the best defensively. Sellers Park's a tough trip, and then Brentford is his old team. But knowing he doesn't play in 29 either, he's probably someone you're selling sooner rather than later, right? Do you see him as a short-term pick, or do you think you would hold him up to like 28?
Yeah, he's definitely a short. I think he's like a short-term punt, and that also worries me because then it's just you're banking a transfer to get rid of him later in the week, and I really want to do game week 29. I want to navigate that with just transfers.
Yeah.
I have an idea of, if everything goes to plan, I'll have more than enough transfers for game week 29. But I just don't want to have that issue where a couple of things go wrong, have to take players out, and Ollie Watkins has to stay around. It literally is. It is the ultimate chase, this one double game weekend. I feel like everyone it's that Ipswich home game, and Ipswich aren't that bad. They're not that bad at home, and but he's he can do it. He can do it, and that's what worries me.
Mate, Villa. It's funny. We always want the talisman of the team that doubles, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go into a Liverpool double without Mo Salah, even if you didn't have him in your team. You would move heaven and earth to do what you needed to be able to bring him in and captain him. Watkins is interesting because he is the absolute talisman, but one of the fixtures is Liverpool, which we all know could be, no goals for Villa. It could be a 1-0 Liverpool win or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the other strong side to the argument for me is the fact that Ollie Watkins isn't having the best of seasons. And Villa aren't scoring the most goals. Like, this isn't bringing in a prime Liverpool or Newcastle, or even I'd go so far to look at Arsenal and Chelsea, teams like that do score more than Villa. We just see Ipswich and we see a hammering, but it might not happen. The signs against Spurs in the FA Cup on Sunday for Villa without Watkins were good. Asensio and Rashford looked good when they came on.
Yeah.
Marlon did a good enough job down the middle, but Villa did look good. And Rodgers, obviously, with the big points, goal, assist. I wonder if Villa have had the best transfer window of all Premier League teams. I think arguably they have. They've bought in the most for sure.
Yeah.
And therefore, we might see that sort of bounce from them. They don't have to worry about Champions League knockouts.
Exactly.
I just wonder if they are turning a slight corner and we do see a big score versus Ipswich. So I'm kind of in it to win it with Watkins. But would I be selling Isak to Watkins? Absolutely not. Would I sell Gakpo to Watkins? No. Chris Wood is an interesting one because I've been I say anti-Chris Wood. I think he's been brilliant. But I've clearly been anti-Chris Wood if I've not owned him. Like, how have I gone all season not owning Chris Wood? He's been amazing. It's foolish. It's part of the reason why I'm having a terrible year. But when you look at the numbers, this is why I haven't owned him. I'm an eye test manager. The data does not back it up, but nor does the eye test. Chris Wood has 1 or 2 chances a game, max. But then the eye test also shows he is ruthless and brilliant in front of goal. And I guess I'm looking at the overall game, not just his outright finishing. Look at Watkins here, better in every metric. But the one metric that really matters is goals.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chris Wood has more. We can see bottom left, way more.
Like we were saying, I mean, Chris Wood is the ultimate. He's the anti-stat man. He doesn't care if the chance has got a low XG. He doesn't care. He's putting it away. I think Ollie Watkins and Chris Wood are just complete opposite ends of the spectrum as strikers this season. I mean, I know in previous years, like last year, Ollie Watkins was fantastic. He's scoring for fun. But
he overachieved for once, which isn't like him. He usually needs a lot of shots to score, as we're seeing this year.
Exactly. I think Chris Wood is the sort of, like we say, he's not going to get loads of chances, but when he gets one, he's more likely than not to put it away. Ollie Watkins he's going to get lots of chances. He's going to get into fantastic positions. He's going to do a lot of running, but I don't know. Something seems off about him. He's just not in that real goal scoring rhythm as he has been in previous seasons. But I mean, if the chances keep coming, eventually you're bound to take one.
And that's what we're banking on against Ipswich. Give him 5 chances, 3 big chances, and we know we get a goal or 2.
Exactly.
I don't know if he's going to be on pens. Again, we would. You get pens. Watkins missed his last pen in the Champions League only 2 weeks ago. We've seen Tielemans miss. If Rashford's on the pitch, Rashford's got an awesome penalty record.
Yeah.
And, Rodgers takes pens for the under-21s. Like, I would be surprised if Watkins keeps pens. He has a 50% conversion. He's taken 12 in his career. He's missed 6 of them. There are very few players in the Premier League that have taken more than 2 penalties in their Premier League career that will have a 50% conversion rate. That is shocking. Raheem Sterling, I think, is 40%, but everyone else is better than that.
But no, especially for a striker. I mean, that's not good conversion rate at all, is it? And you wouldn't be foolish for thinking why would they stick with them? I mean, they've got plenty of players, and I'm telling you now, Marcus Rashford, who is fantastic at taking penalties. I wouldn't be surprised if they get taken off. Ollie Watkins,
I'm all right with that though. Are you, like, as an owner, knowing he misses half of them, you get minus points? I think I'm all right with him not on pens.
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly. I mean, you don't pick players just for I mean, it's always fantastic when they have. Well, when they have penalty sort of potential, fantastic, but. If they get a penalty, fantastic. It's a big bonus. If they don't, though, I mean, like you say, we're playing for those big chances that Ollie Watkins has. Yeah. He just needs to start taking a few more. But like I say, I'd be really scared to go away from Chris Wood. He's been such an absolute bank for me this season. As fixtures, we've talked about, they do turn. They do get a bit tricky, but I would want him back straight away after those three difficult fixtures.
Well, where do you put this move then in your head? Are you like 60-40 Wood staying, 40%? What, like, roughly where are you at? I mean, this will change as the days go on, of course.
Probably 80-20 keeping Wood. I mean, I'm probably just gonna keep him to the end of the season. I can't see myself selling him at any point. Yes, he might have 4 weeks now of slightly trickier fixtures, but when the fixtures turn good again, he's such a good hold. I'm probably just going to see the season out with him. I can't see any other players I really want. He's just so good. He's so good. He's so good. I've seen the anger and the upset from some people on Twitter who got rid of him this week, and I do not want. I do not. Yeah, I don't want to be that person.
A lot benched him.
Exactly.
And a lot sold him, a lot benched him as well. That is painful. I know what that feels like with my Foden sort of similar point hauls, but Wood, knowing his ownership so high as well, that is heartbreaking. I mean, what I don't like about this move for you, if you do it, and I think I would be tempted to do it, but I understand why you wouldn't, and I'm 50-50 on it. It leaves 0.0 in the bank for next week. So straight away, if you're looking at like short-term transfers, which might come up, you could be hindered by having nothing. I feel like the last few weeks we've spoken, having that buffer in the bank has been good to you. It's meant you can move to slot or whatever. And I just don't, it could limit you. I don't think Dango to Semenyo or even Kluivert makes a difference. Like, who knows with those Bournemouth mids? That chart shows us one thing, nothing. It shows us that actually calling the right Bournemouth mid is the impossible question.
Exactly.
But Wood versus Watkins is hard. I think if Watkins had the better fixtures moving forward, it'd be an easy buy, because you look at it and go, I can stay on Watkins for a while. But you're looking at these thinking it's a transfer out waiting to happen. Would you just hold because he's been exceptional value?
Exactly. I mean, it's a tricky one, but I mean, with both options that I've put forward, it creates massive benching headaches. Both of them are gonna. I'm gonna have to really think about it, because I've got I mean, all of my outfield players there, all of them could play, and I'd love them all to play. And it's going to be a real benching headache, I think.
Vista is it at the moment, I guess.
I think Worcester is the only one who. Worcester would probably be the one who does drop down. I think in both
Can't bench
situations.
Isak, can you? I'm seeing people benching Isak and selling Isak, but City, you get City at the minute.
Isaac's going to get some chances. I mean, the game against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, he's so good. He's so good. He's in fantastic form. I think he's really going to make a nuisance of himself against City. I think even in the other option where I just transfer Saar to Semenyo, I probably would be with a benching there because again I don't want to bench Chris Wood. I couldn't go against myself benching him there. So it's gonna be after a real thinker ahead of the Friday deadline and thinking, who's gonna get benched, and it's just gonna be.
If you don't sell Chris Wood and therefore you don't go Watkins and you keep Chris Wood in your team, you just know you can't bench him, or you're like, I may as well have got Watkins in. So yeah, again, it would be Vista, which is a hard benching. And then at the back, I guess you're looking at Lewis Hall and probably Aina, and you're giving Robinson because he's at home, or would you go Aina? I mean, I was actually currently I've got Robinson benched and I've got Aina starting against. I mean, to be fair, forget home and away. Aina plays for the better defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think. That one's very interesting. I mean, Hall's definitely getting benched there, but Robinson Aina is a real toss-up again because they're both really good, both really attacking.
That's part of the reason you're top, mate. Robinson and Aina have been amazing, and
they've been long stays. They've been in the team for a long time, and they're both fantastic assets. But yeah, it's going to be a real benching headache, I think, on Friday.
Mate, let's just finish up on a couple of other Villa options then. Yeah. You're not looking at anyone. You've got Rodgers. You might go Watkins.
Tempted.
You needed 60, 70 minutes from Asensio or Rashford, not 24 minutes to think I could punt there, but it's just too risky. You just don't need to take those sorts of silly risks. I mean, Rashford or Asensio could start. They've played 24 minutes in the FA Cup. You could see one of them getting a 60, but it's high risk that.
Yeah, especially after we're talking about, it's any Villa asset is a transfer waiting to happen in my eyes, and then to bring in someone like Rashford and Asensio, who you're not guaranteed, the proper minutes from, wouldn't be ideal for me. I mean, fantastic differentials, fantastic punts for people who want to maybe take a risk this game week, but yeah, I can't. I'm Rashford and Asensio, not for now, and then Watkins is that, as we said. I'm tempted.
Ooh, your 20% tempter, I reckon, will be up to 30-40% by the end of the week, and then it could go up to 50, and then who knows?
If we get some concrete news, concrete pictures, like we said, of him training, I think it could get tighter that percentage. But I feel like Morgan Rogers is more than enough, really. Morgan Rogers surely is enough to cover that double game week fixture.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Let's hope he keeps doing it in the cup competitions. We've seen it in the champs.
Ridiculous.
Premier League points for us.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, he needs to start getting benched in the Champions League and the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Sorry, and start performing in the Premier League a bit more. Definitely.
Honestly, when I saw a goal assist in the FA Cup, oh God, mate, we've got to just touch on Emery. And guys, if you are enjoying the show, we'd love you to hit the like button, but also do subscribe to the channel. Thanks as always for your support. We want to get Max back on, and you can show your appreciation by hitting the buttons. Emery, do you think those that went Moyes, because those that went Moyes are all going Emery, do you reckon Emery's got a greater chance of an upset? Do you like this call? I mean, if you're on slot, you're never going to swap to Emery, are you? But I guess if you were picking now assistant manager and you weren't on either, and you had 3 Liverpool players in your team, which is what you had, would you sell Gakpo to get a slot, or would you actually keep the 3 Liverpool and go Emery? Because that's what a lot did with Moyes, but Emery's a level above, isn't he, for an upset?
I know I did it last week and I sold Gakpo to bring slot in, but that was with the idea that I was banking on getting them a double-double.
Yes.
I probably wouldn't do it now because I think, again, we need to navigate these difficult next couple of weeks, and I think people are going to need transfers in the bank. If I was on Moyes, I would 100% be going to Emery. I think that's a no-brainer. I think that's such a good move there. The Ipswich game at home, they should win it. And then Liverpool game, you're playing for some pop, you're playing for bonus. If you get something, fantastic. If you don't, whatever. I think people who haven't used the assistant manager chip, I think I'd be tempting to use it this week. I mean, like I say, when you get into the back end of the season, there's going to be a couple more doubles. People are going to want to play bench boosts, and you need to remember, obviously, like you said, the assistant manager chip is in play for 3 weeks. You can't do anything else whilst it's in play, so I think it's going to cause more problems than good later in the season. So I would be tempted to play it now if I hadn't, and then after Emery, leave it on him, or do you move it to sort of to chase more bonus? But yeah, Emery's a good pick if you're on Moyes or if you haven't used it at all, definitely.
In 26, we're both going to be faced with a big dilemma. We won't talk about it now because we might chat next week, but 26, we don't know where we'll go because there isn't obvious bonus plays in 26, and all those on slot will probably be making a transfer because you're playing Man City, and that feels going to the Etihad a tough one. You could swap to Arteta at home to West Ham, for example, but maybe someone slot will want to play a little bit looser with a bonus option. Could McKenna cause an upset against Spurs if there's 5 places there? Maybe. Could you back Van Nistelrooy against Brentford? I don't think so, but let's have that conversation in a week or so. But dude, that's awesome to hear your plans. I'm glad to know you're buying a Bournemouth mid. I'm glad to know you're tempted on Watkins, but not happy to rip your team up for him like some are with the Isak move to Watkins. Just one final question. I don't want to put you on the spot, but just give me the likelihood that you do Isak to Watkins. I'm only asking you because I know there's a few big name content, my friends, a few of my mates that are looking at that move.
Yeah,
you're not tempted on that one, are you? I hate it.
There's 0% chance. There's no way.
Good man. Okay.
there's no.
I think a lot want to know that because there'll be managers out there watching this going, if this manager who I really respect and like, and he's finished 4th in the world before. Big man backer, for example, my good friend, he's looking at that move, and he's finished 4th. He's an amazing FPL manager, and I tell him I'm about to stream with him in a couple of days. I'll be telling him, mate, I absolutely hate it. So I'm glad you've given that a 0%er. Yeah,
I think if you've watched Newcastle and Isak recently, and you've watched City recently, there's no way I'm getting rid of Isak. The fixtures for the foreseeable are very good. I know he blanks in 29. I'm going to hold on to him in 29. He's going to be on the bench, and then he's going to come back into the team. He is, just like we talk about Chris Wood, Isak is the epitome. He's a season hold. I'm not getting rid of Isak at all. He's going to stay for the rest of the season. He's too good. He's literally too good to get rid of. And for chasing a double game week player like Watkins, who again is another transfer waiting to happen, no chance I'm doing that.
Good stuff, mate. He has got fixtures, by the way. After that blank, he plays Brentford, Leicester, Man United, Villa, Ipswich, Brighton. It's a great run.
Yeah.
Straight after the blank, when everyone sold him, unless they're wildcarding in 30, which some might, but Brentford, Leicester, and United even, it's a great, everyone's going to want him back. And they will have 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 tied up in him. So again, their team value drops straight away.
And that's my issue. I don't want to lose any team value on him. And he's pretty certain he's going to have a double at some point, and it's going to be a pretty good double. There's no way I get rid of him. He's fantastic. He's so good.
Nice. That 33 is likely a double. Guys, thank you so much for watching. You've got to follow FPL Northern on X, on Twitter. His handle is at the bottom of the screen in just a second. I had people commenting on the last video, like, where can I follow him? And I'm like, dude, I've had the banner running throughout. I mentioned it twice. So we can see at the bottom of the screen coming in at FPL Northern on X. Make sure you follow Max and give him some love in the comments as well. Max, thank you, mate. I look forward to talking with you on our tweets as we always do. But
of course.
Thank you so much for coming on again.
No, thank you very much. Hopefully, if I'm on again, I'll still be in a joyful mood, staying first. We'll fingers crossed for Wednesday.
Mate, I'd have you on the channel even if you were ranked 1 million.
You're
enjoying our chat. So I look forward to hopefully checking in as the season goes on, and whether you're ranked 1 or 72, it'll be a great conversation, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That sounds good to me.
See you, man. Take care.
See you later.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you for my team selection video in a day or two. Bye-bye.